Hello students, now last topic of our chapter number 1, nature of physical laws. See students, most of the physical phenomena they are governed by the forces. Different types of force acts, and so the physical phenomena takes place. If I'll give an example of the electric current, in a wire the electric current I flows. You know that current is due to electrons, and electrons they move in a wire so that we get the current. So these electrons they move due to some kind of force, and if we move further, then if I say a fan rotates, it moves due to electric current. So again this fan rotates or revolves due to the current only, and that current applies some kind of force for this rotation of fan. Even in nature also many kinds of phenomena they occur due to force only, and during such phenomena many physical quantities they change. For example, velocity may change, momentum p may change, mass may change from one place to other, that is there may be some displacement also. Even acceleration of the particle may change. Even energy of an individual particle may change. So many changes occur in several physical quantities, but one thing remains constant, or some things that remains constant in it. And such type of quantities which remain constant, they are called the conserved quantities, and the such forces are called conservative forces. If I'll give an example of a spring, students look here. If I consider a spring, and if a mass is suspended with a spring, now if I displace this mass in the upward direction or the downward direction, so for this type of displacement force is required. And if I release that particle after displacing it from its mean position, then what will happen? It will start its motion in up and down direction. That means we can say that it starts its oscillations, and during the oscillation what happens? When the particle is at its upward direction or the lower direction, that is extreme downward direction, its potential energy is maximum. But at this position its kinetic energy will be 0. But what happens when the particles move in the downward direction? Its potential energy goes on decreasing, but the kinetic energy will go on increasing. So in this process of oscillation of this particle which is suspended by a spring, its kinetic energy and potential energy may change, but its mechanical energy, or we can say total energy, will remain constant. This kinetic energy and this potential energy go on changing, but their summation will always remain same, and that is nothing but the mechanical energy, and it remains constant. and so we can say that the mechanical energy is conserved in this process. Now about law of conservation of energy. According to this law, energy can neither be created, energy cannot be even destroyed. The total energy of an isolated system remains constant. And here the example is given about the mechanical energy, heat energy, electric energy. All this energy can convert from one form to other, from mechanical to electrical, from electric to mechanical can take place. That conversion can take place. From heat energy to mechanical energy, that conversion can take place. From mechanical to heat energy, even that can take place. So that interconversion is possible. But if we'll add all these total energies, all these energies, then that total energy will remain constant. So that is nothing but about the conservation of energy. And so this law of conservation of energy says that the energy can neither be created nor be destroyed. It can be just be converted from one form to other, but the total energy of the universe, what is universe? So it is an isolated system. Other than universe also we can consider some isolated system. So for such isolated system, the energy remains constant. Now for an isolated system, I can say that it is such a system for which the energy inside this system, suppose this box is a system, so the processes which are taking place inside the box is not affected by outside, and even those processes which are taking inside will not affect the outside environment also. So such type of system is called an isolated system. Now once again about Einstein. Einstein said that the energy can be converted to mass, or mass can be converted to energy according to this formula: E is equal to mc square. Here c is a velocity of light. So before Einstein gave this formula, even mass is considered as conserved quantity, but after this formula even mass is not conserved, it can be converted to energy. Now about the law of conservation of linear momentum and angular momentum. Now what is this linear momentum, what is this angular momentum, that you will study in chapter 3, 4 and other chapters. So at present you don't have to worry about it, but still I must say that here it says that even the linear momentum and the total angular momentum of an isolated system, they are also conserved quantities like energy. These laws can be derived from Newton's laws of motion. Means this conservation of linear momentum and angular momentum can be obtained from the Newton's law of motion in mechanics. Next is about the conservation laws of energy and momentum. A scientist named Pauli, he correctly predicted about the validity of these laws of conservation of momentum, both this angular and linear momentum. That means is linear momentum conserved or not, is angular momentum conserved or not. So proof for this conservation was given by the scientist named Pauli from the process of the beta decay, and in which a nucleus emits the beta particles during its nuclear process and also a uncharged neutrino. So in such type of process he found that even the linear momentum and the angular momentum, they are constant, they remain constant, and so they are conserved. Students, these laws of nature do not change with time, means energy of an isolated system will remain constant if you will consider at this time, or if you will consider after some time, means after some years also, after some hours also, some days also, this energy will remain constant. So with time it is not going to change. And so here this statement is given that the symmetry of nature with respect to translation, means displacement of time, is equivalent to the law of conservation of energy. Next is about the homogeneity of space. Now meaning of homogeneous means of same kind, means something remains constant in the medium, so that is called homogeneous, which do not change with one place to other. So here also it is said that the space is homogeneous, means in a space, that means earth and outside region other than earth, we call that is a space. So in a space, if you will go in any direction, then you will find the similar kind of things, you will not find any difference. So space is considered as a homogeneous, and so there is no preferred location, means in a space if you will stand anywhere, then you will find the similar kind of things. If you will go to some other place and if you will look around you, then you will find the similar or the same kinds of things. So in that case we can say the space is homogeneous, and due to this homogeneity of space there is a conservation of linear momentum. Students, I will advise you that no need to give any stress on your brain to understand these statements totally, because as the time passes you will learn many new things in physics with different concepts in different chapters, and then you will be able to understand these statements. So at present you have to simply go through it, don't give stress on your brain. Similarly, we can say that due to isotropy of space, earlier it was homogeneity of space, now due to isotropy of space, the law of conservation of angular momentum is there. Isotropy means it is independent of direction. For such type of things, the direction is not important, means here for the space also, space is isotropic, means if you will go in any direction in the space, the things remains same. So direction is not important for the space, and due to that there is a law of conservation of angular momentum. And the last is about the conservation of charge. We know that the charges are positive and negative. So even for an isolated system, if I consider this box which is an isolated system for the charge, then the charged particle will not be able to enter the system, and even from the system no charge will escape outside, and so even the charge is also conserved for an electrically isolated system. So students, this is all about the first chapter. From this chapter only MCQ type or objective type of questions can be asked, so no need to take any tension or stress for this chapter. Only go through the chapter casually, underline the important words or the statements, and you can easily answer the questions related to this chapter.